12. The column of the days of the week. The order of the planetary bodies is accepted as follows. The Sun has a Sunday dedicated to it. The Moon, Monday. Mars, Tuesday. Mercury, Wednesday. Jupiter, Thursday. Venus, Friday. And Saturn, Saturday. This scheme can be adapted to fit the points of the star-like septenary, which we use as a pentacle of the septenary. See Figure 24. For planetary magic ceremonies, it is advised always to take days which correspond to the particular planets. The magic year begins at the moment of sunrise of the day of the spring equinox, as given in the calendar. We still have to speak about the so-called friendship and animosity of the planets, and to indicate the principles for which the calculation of planetary hours on different days of the week. Very valuable schemes for that purpose are given in Papus's famous Traité Elementare di Scienze Occulte. In astrology, under friendship between the planets we recognize the increase of good, or the diminishing of evil influences of one planet on another. In general courses on magic, under friendship is understood the support for, and under animosity, the weakening of the influence between the planets. We will speak again about these questions in the 17th Arcanum, but here we will only give a list of the relations between the planets as accepted by contemporary occult schools. 1. Saturn is friendly with Mars, but unfriendly towards all others. Fatal accidents are encouraged by violence of desires and other manifestations of the human will, but are hampered because of the active character of the rest of the secondary causalities. 2. Jupiter is friendly to all except Mars. This is really because a methodical and favorable attitude cannot be useful for violent moods. 3. Mars is friendly only with Venus, and unfriendly to all others. The attractive force of love often produces violence and suddenness in its manifestations, but the logic of Saturn, the intelligent favor of Jupiter, the generosity of the Sun, the adaptability of Mercury, and the tender passiveness of the Moon repel anything that is sudden and violent. 4. The Sun is helped in the spreading of its beneficent influence by the favorable Jupiter, adaptable Mercury, and attractive Venus, but not by the cold Saturn and violent Mars. 5. Venus is favorable to the wealth of vital fluids of the Sun, to the cordial elations of Mars, to the compliance of Mercury, and to the susceptibility of the Moon, but she cannot endure the cold logic of Saturn. In the case of the experienced administrator Jupiter, we cannot say that he either likes or recognizes Venus, but he would like to limit and to control her activities, and therefore does not gain either her sympathy or her hate. 6. Mercury adapts himself to any influences. 7. The Moon accepts everything passively. We are now passing on to the method for the calculation of planetary hours, which are indispensable since magic operations need not only favorable days, but also suitable hours. The magic day begins at the moment of the astronomical sunrise in a given place on the Earth, and is divided into the magic day, from sunrise to sunset, and magic night, from sunset to sunrise. As we can see, the days and nights in different seasons and in different countries can vary greatly. Therefore, for every operation, calculations must be made according to the instructions given. These are so simple that no example seems necessary. The magic day is divided into 12 equal parts, called the magic hours of that day. The night is also divided into 12 equal hours. On Sunday, the first magic hour of the day is dedicated to the Sun, on Monday to the Moon, on Tuesday to Mars, and so on, according to the table in Figure 27. The other hours follow relatively in the order in which they appear as given in the same Figure 27. So, for example, on Sunday the second hour of the day will belong to Venus, the third to Mercury, the fourth to the Moon, fifth to Saturn, sixth to Jupiter, seventh to Mars, eighth to the Sun, ninth to Venus, 10th to Mercury, 11th to the Moon, and the 12th to Saturn. Accordingly, the first hour of the night belongs to Mercury, the 8th also to him, the 10th to the Sun, the 12th to Mercury, and on Monday, the first hour of the new day to the Moon, as has already been stated. The possibility of such a division is assured by the fact that, on one hand, 24 divided by 7 gives 3 as the remainder, and on the other hand, the days of the week are divided between planets according to the intervals, passing over 2 planets to the 3rd. A brief analysis of the titles of the 7th Arcanum and its equations will be useful for us in order to have a better understanding of the table which we have been discussing. So, in the realm of the archetypes manifestations, equation number 18, 7 equals 3 plus 4, tells us that the domination of the spirit, natura divina, 3rd Arcanum, over form, 4th Arcanum, gives the axiom spiritus dominat formam. Equation number 19, 7 equals 4 plus 3, gives us the reversed, illusory idea, worthy of black magic insanity, for it tells us that forms rule over their contents, spirit. On the human plane, we will consider equation number 20, 7 equals 1 plus 6. This means that will and experience are both ways to give us victory. The corresponding title, Victoria, is clear, but a defeat in experience, expressed by another equation, 7 equals 6 plus 1, means catastrophe, a lost incarnation. On the plane of nature, we will use an interesting equation of the pattern. Equation number 21, 7 equals 5 plus 2. The pentagrammatic principles, 5, tradition, custom, religion, dominate the 2nd Arcanum, natura naturata, objects realized by nature, which domination indicates the law of property and creates another title for the rich contents of this Arcanum. Of course, the equations which I quote here are not all that are possible with the numerical operations based on the Tarot's Arcana. Only the most important are given, and the rest I am leaving to the student, as his obligatory and practical part of this work, providing that he really wants to penetrate into the magnificent temple of Hermetism, built by the great occultists of the West. Only then will he appreciate their unique development and deeds, bowing his head together with the writer in silence and veneration before those masters of the past, in the joyous hope of perhaps encountering one of them while still in this life, as others have done. Anyway, other minor equations are officially less used by initiatory schools than those offered in this work. To conclude matters connected with the 7th major arcanum, we may ask ourselves whether all this astrology, with its complications and calculations, not to speak of the much more difficult matters connected with magic, are indispensable to the average human life. The true answer will be in the negative. We can live very well without them. But, as human beings, we are also the cells of the great universal man, the archetype, and no two cells are identical in him. Therefore, in occultism, it is accepted that there are many ways in which the cells can be reintegrated, that is, consciously return into the one. Actually, nobody can say that even now we are apart from this oneness. It is true that now we may not be conscious of it, and we have to regain this consciousness, known in Hermetism as reintegration. It may be possible that one of these ways is astrology.